Hi everyone. So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about the news that we just got. We're gonna talk about the new FanFest coming up in 2026 April. It was just announced last night, well this morning technically, by Square Enix. They did a little live stream. It was a very short one and they just shared a video discussing all the dates. So what I like about this news is that we got the news. But so what I wanted to talk about was the patterns of release for FanFest in particular. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a very simple-minded brain. For me, I usually went by FanFest dates, because that's when I know when to expect, new releases or content or whatever the case is. There's a whole pattern and rhythm for how they release stuff, and we kind of, as a community, have noticed it over the times. So I kind of made this little chart here just to kind of break down, the FanFest release dates and, by expansion as well. So it all starts back in 2014, so that was the first FanFest, and that's where they announced Heavensward. So if you look here, you can see for all three regions, it was all in 2014, and you can see that for NA specifically, it was October 17th to 19th. So that was the first FanFest, and it's really, really cool because we got not only the reveal of Heavensward, we also got the details following up with London and the job reveals with Japan. So, you see that they have created a solid foundation of how they want to share and, showcase the information. Proceeding after that, 2 years later, we have 2016 FanFest, and you can see right off the bat that again, it's in fall. It's in October for NA. We get the trailer for Stormblood, and then proceeding after, you get more information about the new jobs from during the Japan and Europe FanFest. So it's always cool because I live in NA and I felt like, oh yay, we're so lucky to get the X-Pack reveal and trailer, and that's always something I've looked forward to. The first FanFest I actually went to was actually 2018, and that's the next one we're going to talk about. Again, this one happens in fall, so I'm always expecting FanFest to happen in fall because of this pattern that they've set up. And they're on schedule for their releases. That's when we had the Shadowbringers reveal, and my god, the room was rumbling with excitement when we got to see that. And that was in fall. And then proceeding after that, they decided to take the next bit of information to reveal the new jobs and Shadowbringers in Europe and JP. So we learned about Gunbreaker Dancer, and then not only that, we got a new job to look at. Not a new job. We got a new race to look at, which was Hrothgar. So that's 2018, So we're going by this 2-year, cycle for X-Packs. And then after that, when we hit 2020, that's when COVID hit. So they were impacted and they canceled all the physical FanFests and they did a digital FanFest, which everybody participated in. And that was totally understandable. And then you can see the delays starting to come in, and this is where things started to hit a little different. The next X-Pack that we got was, our last FanFest, which was 2023. We got the Dawn Trail reveal trailer. They still follow the same, formula. We learn about Viper, Picto, we get female Hrothgar. They're still releasing content, but it did take a little longer and we got delays. And not only that, now that we got the new information, we're coming up to NA FanFest, sorry, not just NA FanFest. We're coming up to the new FanFest, which is in 2026. When typically we're used to that 2-year, cycle. So you can see from 2020, it took the next one to go to 2023, and now the next one's 2026. So people are already speculating, 8.0 is going to be delayed, and we tell everybody to, just take it in with a grain of salt. Don't expect much. Don't let your hopes be crushed. But we did hear that comment about, you know, that Yoshi P said about something about implementing things at a whirlwind pace. So you never know what might happen with that. I have no idea. Maybe they have a lot in store for us, but you know, don't get your hopes too high. You know, let's just keep it chill and see what happens. You know, I don't want people to, you know, feel crushed when, you know, stuff might be delayed, or, you know, we don't get what we're expecting, or, you know, it's not delivered, or maybe it will be delivered, who knows. But if we were to guess, you know, in the NA FanFest in 2026, we're probably going to get, you know, the X-Pack reveal, and then after that we'll get more details from the EU and JP FanFest, and see if we get new job reveals and things like that. We know Beastmaster's over the horizon as well. You know, when it comes to the actual event itself for FanFest, it's like any other convention where, you know, getting tickets is competitive, getting in might be a mad dash, there's lines. You might have a bracelet you're wearing or a lanyard to signify that you're meant to be there. You can go in, you know, and enjoy yourself, and you paid for your ticket and all that. You know, you used to be able to buy 4 tickets in the past, and then you could only buy 2 tickets. You know, they were trying to take measures to, you know, help people get the chance to get that ticket. But because the FanFests were such small events, you know, there were limited tickets, and I really hope that they increase the amount of tickets. Every FanFest we hope for more tickets, because I have seen so many static members and different friends and all sorts of stuff like, oh shit, we didn't get tickets, damn, we can't go. You know, it's been a recurring theme over the past 10 years, so well, we now have hit 12 years since the launch of ARR, so happy 12 years. But in this case, you know, to get into FanFest, you just got to be ready. My biggest advice is to stay longer than just the FanFest, because FanFest is only 2 days long. You know, they used to have 3 days on some occasions, but not very many occasions, as you can see from this chart. But they only do 2-day FanFest, and they only announce 2 days for the new ones coming up too. So just take a little more time, and so you can breathe and catch up with friends, and, you know, enjoy things around the area. Like Disneyland is right next door to Anaheim Convention Center. You know, there's also California Adventure Park. There's a lot of great things you can do here. You can visit places. Me being a SoCal native, I'm so excited because I can literally just go there so easily. But at the same time, it's really cool to, you know, see a bunch of friends come over. I think the biggest highlight of FanFest was meeting all of our friends, fellow content creators, and, you know, people in general, and also just seeing all the stuff we love come together in one place. So, you know, it's really excited, super worth it. Even though it's delayed, it's super worth it, and it does build up a lot of hype, you know, back into our hearts to experience something fun. I can't wait to see what kind of changes they're going to be bringing in. You know, me personally, I've already told my friends this many times, I would love to have Final Fantasy XIV feel like a brand new game again, because I was so excited when I first started playing this game back in 2013, and me being here for 12 years, my gosh, you get so tired of the same thing. I want it to feel like a fresh, brand new game, and that might require more than they can actually deliver, unfortunately. But I'm still here because this game has shaped a lot of my friendships and, you know, things like that, and I still enjoy the game, but it's easy to get bored, not gonna lie. But at the same time, it's just my own opinion, you know, and there's a lot of things they can do to continue to work on this game. And what I found interesting from the video announcement they just did recently for FanFest is that Yoshi P himself says we're prepping for not only this FanFest, but the next one's coming up, and this year, and even 10 years from now. And I'm just like, dang, y'all talking about all this stuff, you know. So they have every intention to continue working on this game. So I just wonder where it's gonna go and how they're gonna do it. And I'm sure everybody is. But that's something to look forward to. Anyway, that's my whole take on FanFest and its timeline. It's interesting information, and I thought it was interesting and I just wanted to talk about it. So yeah, stay tuned, have fun, and let's see what happens.